Okay, understand. No news of any upcoming exam, right?
For EMF, I think they haven't announced yet.
For EMAT?
No.
Okay, understand. Then no unnecessary pressure lah. Because the topic is not easy lah. So then additional pressure, no point lah. The pressure not necessarily on you. Sometimes the pressure is on your teacher. Then suddenly he rush. Then everything not so good lah. The way I feel, he is not rushing you. Is that correct?
I guess.
So compared to the last teacher, you said the last teacher is slow, right? Remember? Slow. Also never discuss the question properly and definitely never reach the exam level. Definitely lah, right? Right?
Yeah.
Now, this teacher is not as slow as the last teacher. That's what it seems to me.
Yeah.
And he discussed questions, in fact, difficult questions, definitely on the exam level, because I know your assignment, right? I think that gives you a lot of positive impression upon him, right? How's the class environment? Is it also better?
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Right. So last time I say to you, never follow the class tempo, right? Never. You really must be ahead and you must be doing your own thing, right? That should change lah if your teacher is better, because then the class makes more sense and is more useful, right? Now, if your class is useful and continues to be useful, all we have to do is be slightly in front. For example, this is what we're doing. We're slightly ahead by actually just around 1 week. If a class is good, that's all we need to do. Last time, that's not enough. Last time, you need to be ahead, even no point, because the class is already very slow. You don't even know whether you're actually ahead of it, right? Then in class, you also have to be ahead of what they're doing. You don't even pay attention to the class. But right now, it seems that you pay attention to class very good, and we just have to be slightly ahead because the class tempo is good. So that's better love for you, obviously, right? We will assume that that's the case until there's some weakness which is obvious, right? It seems that your teacher knows what he's doing, right? Okay. Right. So that's what we're doing, just slightly ahead of the class. In fact, for differentiation integration, you're already way ahead of the class. So after Trigo, we can be free to prepare the exam properly, right? Okay. Now, any other question for the class or for this new topic?
No, not really.
Okay. Then I will ask you to find another of this question from the exam. That means we are not finishing the question. We're just focusing on this part so that you feel confident from start until end. The rest is easy, you see, that's why. Right? Go to your exam paper, find another one similar to this. It should be quite obvious, right? Kakak Brian, so I want you to monitor your WhatsApp, so I'll communicate from there.
Okay.
Try to give, if you're having, you have to get used to that. So maybe give you some idea on hint, okay? Because the hinting that we're doing should be advanced. Just now I didn't demonstrate that because Keiko is already having a question and it's not doing anything. in this case, there you go. Yes, Kyoko, we found it, right? So you can copy that with the picture. The picture is in there, right? In the case of the normal hinting, we'll be anticipating, right? We'll be hinting in anticipation. That means that's why I prompt you using WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see how it feels. What I promise is after a while, this feels shorter and better. By being indirect, I feel that we're addressing the real problem more directly. That's why it feels to me. That's why I kind of like it from a trainer perspective, but I think it also benefits the student. So both ways, this I think better. Right? That at the start, it will feel weird. Right? So let's see. Right, Kyoko. So you're putting the question in, right? Good. So I'm going to make it slightly bigger, right? As per usual, I asked you not to do part 1, correct? Oh, goodness me. The problem is you need part 1 for part 2. Do you notice that this question, the part 1, is not complete? The answer key is not there. In other questions, they will not hide the P and Q for you, correct? Right. So here, I will just take a simple note, right? So this is just me telling you immediately what is going on here. If you see this in exam, you know that this is harder because usually exam will give you the P and Q because they want to separate part 1 from part 2. In this case, they are tying them up, and usually that's not good for the student. Understand? Okay. Now, for part 1, since I don't want you to think too much about it, I'm not going to go through the process of hinting, okay, Brian. I'm just going to guide you through it, right? So, do you know what's S? Have you read the question?
Uh,
Oh no, I mean for Kyoko. Right? Do you know what's S? Kakak Brian just.
Yeah, I know.
So the area of a triangle, for some reason he wants area. As promised, this is EMATH, correct? This is EMATH. I always promise you, they are very good at taking any topic any relevant topic from EMATH and just putting it here. Right? So yeah, that's what they will do, right? So in this case, we'll be using probably the half AB sin C. Probably. That's just my first guess because I've never seen this question also. Right? Okay, so okay, so area OCD equals to half with sine theta. So far so good, okay? It's just obvious, okay? Okay, now how about triangle OAB lah? Again, I'm not using hint because I just want to get through this quickly, right? So angle AOB. Tell me what's angle AOB? Kyoko?
90 minus.
Correct. I'll use radian. So I'll be needing the sine, right? Correct. So I'll just put a sine in here. So sine AOB, right? Angle AOB will be equal to sine pi over 2 minus theta. And this is again EMATH. Usually I will hint you, I want you to think, but this time I just want you to focus on the part 2. So what happens in EMATH? Sine 90 degree minus theta. Do you remember?
No.
Right. So usually I'll give you hint to make you think because it is important in EMATH. Turns out in EMATH they use that. But right now, I just go through very quickly like that. This is EMATH. It's not even AMATH. Do you remember?
Mm,
Do you remember?
no.
Right. Then in that case, it will be a problem for you EMATH, definitely. And in AMATH, maybe it'll be a problem if they decide to use. So next time, this is to remind us next time, it's a big question mark here. Okay, I put that for you. Okay.
Mm.
We are not answering this question right now because we're bypassing this part. Okay. Right. Now,
Why,
yes.
why put sign like pi divided by 2 minus theta? Why must put?
Because I'm anticipating this, man. Half AB sine theta again to be used in the area of the triangle.
Oh.
Right? That's an anticipation, right? Because, by experience, that's what we need. Hey, turns out it's correct. You'll see very soon. Right? It's just me anticipating, right? I'm not also teaching you how to see it properly because, again, I don't want to discuss the method, right? So what we need is 4, right? They are both isosceles, correct? So is our problem solved? Can we use the formula immediately? Can? Right? So triangle OAB, correct? Triangle OAB will be half AB sine the proper angle, correct? So the angle shouldn't be theta, but a proper angle. So I'm going to use alpha instead. So half times 4 times 4, correct? Sine what? Sine
4.
pi over 2 minus theta, correct? Sine alpha, which is pi over 2. So immediately, so we have 4 cosine theta. There you go. Make sense? You see, I anticipate the background just by experience. Okay, right. So what's half times 8 times 8? Okay, you go quickly.
32.
And half times 4 times 4.
8.
Right. So this is to finish up. This is 32 and this is 8. Okay. Now we can use it for part 2. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Any questions so far? I'm going through it fast.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to put the second question in the next page. We're not going to save. We're not going to save space here. Right. So you go and write down the next page, the S, because you need to now convert the original form to this form, right? Okay, just write down and then you start doing it because you're experienced here, and then me and Kakak Brian will start to give hints Kakak Brian, if you have some question on the WhatsApp, not just acknowledge me for now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh goodness me, I typed to the wrong. Yeah, my goodness, that's my mistake. Oh, this is very weird. How come I cannot access your WhatsApp? Sorry, yeah, I sent to the wrong account. I sent you something. Kyoko, you see that I put some hint there, right? You don't have to look at it, because you're still not stuck, ma. But I'm predicting that you have some problem. So I'm giving you hint in advance. So it is entirely up to you whether you want to see the hint or not, right? Until I feel it is too long, so I will force you to see it, lah. But that shouldn't be the case, lah. Right? You should be the one deciding whether to see a hint or not. You understand? Because not seeing a hint will give you confidence boost if you can actually do it, ma. Correct? Correct or not? So for example, I'm revealing the hint. I'm not supposed to do that, right? How do I reveal the hint? I just delete the box, correct? Let me read it. All right, you see the hint? Do you realize that you do not need this hint at all? Correct? Because you just did what the hint asked you to do. You do the comparison, then you write down r cosine alpha, something, correct? Why did I give you the hint? Because I was thinking, hey, you missed a step. So I was anticipating that you need a hint. Hey, turns out you can go back yourself to the appropriate steps. Correct? So it is true that you don't need to see this hint. And it is true that you don't need to reveal it for yourself. And that is good. You understand? Now, does that mean that I should delete the hint? You don't need the hint, ma. I know the hint. You haven't revealed. Should I delete the hint or not? Right. Good. Keep it there. It's a confidence boost. Now, please continue though. Kakak Brian, there
Yeah.
are a few, let's just call them stickers, yeah. Just like what we use, right, in chat, right? So there are a few stickers that I want the students to use. One of them is the one I just put it, nah, I'm good, right? Okay, this is a declaration that is supposed to be made by the student, saying that, no, I don't need this thing. Because I want them to see, but they don't want, and they are okay. That's good. That makes sense to you, right?
Yeah.
Prepare some stickers for them to use, though most of them is what we use, right? I'll show you another one that I want them to use to indicate to us, right? So maybe I'll show you. Right? Okay. Right. Here's another one, right? I just put it on top, right? So obviously those are question marks, right? Right. Sometimes I want them to put this immediately when they are really stuck, don't wait, I'm monitoring them, you're monitoring them. But if they want to ask question, they can use that, right? They can duplicate easily also, right? Another thing that I want them to use is a simpler question, right? So I'm just saying that one is a small question and one's a big question, right? Let's just use the mouse for a big question and let's use the simple question mark for a small question. That way, they can attract our attention faster. At least I want them to feel that way. We are monitoring all the time, so we already know what's going on, but I want them to, I want them to be able to do something about it, right? Now, both of us are following her work, so we know whether she needs a hint or not. So I'm just anticipating, right? Right. So I am doing another hint in anticipation, right? I'm doing another hint in anticipation. Some typing. The moment I type, I just close, right? Then I duplicate and then I put it. Right. So that's me anticipating, right?
Yeah.
Right. Then, because I don't want them to be too slow, I will prepare the next level of hint, right? Because, the first hint they see is just for them to trigger their thinking. So, Kyoko, if you look at the second hint, it will trigger your memory because I know you have done it before. I follow you, man. But you're a bit slow here. So I'm trying to trigger you instead of telling you the answer, right? Especially when you feel stuck, I'm ready for that. Immediately, I will prepare the second tier hint, which is more revealing, right? So I'm going to prepare that also, right? Now, Brian, this actually works slightly less with Apple and iPad users, for example, because they are looking at the screen. So they will see the hint being typed. There's a split second where it's visible, correct?
For the iPad, is it?
iPad user, and they are staring at the iPad. But most students don't use iPad. Most students use laptop, right? And they won't be staring at their laptop, right? They should be staring at the paper. So the covering of the hint is more effective. But for Apple user and iPad user that you put it, they will see it a little bit if they pay attention. That's fine, whatever. Right? We'll just prepare. Understand?
Yeah.
Now back to you, Yoko. You seem stuck, right? Because we're monitoring. It seems that you're stuck. So I prepare two advanced hints for you. Do you want to open or not? The first hint is always not, it's always not obvious one. It's just to trigger your mind. Don't be stuck for too long, Don't be stuck for too long. Right? Remember, Kyoko, you have option. If you don't get from the first hint, right? You can look at the second hint. There's a second tier hint, right? The symbol is different, right? Or you have another option, Kyoko. Before you look at the hint, you have another option, You know what's your option?
No.
Of course, you have another option. You have done this before, ma. What's your option? Since you have done this before. No. You have done this before where?
The last page.
Yeah, nothing stops you from looking at it. Remember, Jamboard is yours. So you can don't look at my hint. You can look at your previous work. Do you understand what to do? Kakak Brian, notice that I am hardly explaining anything verbally. I am truly trying to direct Kyoko's thinking and the other students' thinking.
Yeah.
Instead of explaining what they are supposed to do, I am really trying not to do that. That is the whole point. That is the whole point. Now, obviously, once they realize that they have past work to refer to, they should refer to that. Obvious lah. Kyoko, if you have problem, then Kyoko should already refer to it. Sometimes however, I ask a question. It's very weird for me to have to remind them that they can refer to the past work, right? Very weird. But I would prefer to do that rather than to tell them what to do. Because then they think, obviously, when Kyoko refers to the past work, she is thinking, I'm good. Better than me telling. We can argue long or short whether this is more work or less work. Right? More work or less work. However, forcing them to think is probably a good thing. Now, in anticipation, I'm having another. Brian, as you see me put in more and more hints, correct? Can you guess what I am writing? I don't mean the exact word, but can you guess what I want, how I want to hint and direct her attention? Right? That means you're forming your own hints in your mind. Because I think I will have to ask her to reveal the hint. Right? Yeah, so you form your own hint. Now, Kyoko, so let me tell you something. If you confirm your answer, there is a very high chance that your calculator will tell you they are almost the same, which is good news, right? My hint, there are two more, right? There are two more. My hint is designed so that you don't lose the remaining 1 mark. You are losing 1 mark. If you don't get it, you have the option of looking at the hint or, of course, the other option. So, Kakak Brian, giving a hint already means that we're sending an alarm, right?
Yeah.
Oh, something is wrong. Something is wrong, right? So, after a while, it is up to them how to use it. But that is the effect of giving a hint. You accidentally shift it, right? You accidentally shift it. That's okay, Kyoko. But you did accidentally shift the box. In this case, Kakak Brian, it is, I hope it's very obvious that it is very easy, well, it is very achievable to monitor and help two students lesson plan. Because how do I say it? You're not limited by your own words. Like you have to speak verbally to them. You're not limited by that. Right? I hope it's obvious that this method is good if you're monitoring students which are quite advanced. Right? Kyoko, you're stuck here. So what do you decide to do? You don't know what's wrong, right?
No.
But the fact that I'm giving you hint means that at least I think something is wrong, but it's only 1 mark. So do you want to lose the 1 mark? If not, you have options, okay? But don't get stuck for too long. Don't decide too long. Decide something. Once you open it, don't close it. What's the point? Once you open it, just delete it, right? Just delete it, right? Again, once you open it, just delete it. You drag it. No, you don't have to delete it. Wait, undo first. Undo. It's very easy to delete a box. Just drag the box down. If you drag the box down, see, there's a. Now, if you don't get the hint, then you better ask questions already. Second hint.
How do you make it exact?
Right. Look at your previous work. So, Kakak Brian, I can do that because I know their previous work, right? So, in that sense, it's good to follow. Back then, I random the student. At this point, I think I want you to follow two students more of the same. Then you can do this kind of thing like what I do. Right. Might as well add the hint if you're not. Oh no, I think Kyoko got it. Now, the fact that I have to explain a lot of how hints work to Kyoko means she's not used to it yet. But after a while, she should get used to it, right? Right. Right. Then I'm anticipating again, right? Look at me anticipating again. In fact, Brian, would you like to try your first hint? I think we need to do something, right?
Like for her?
Yeah. Do you see potential loss of mark? Kyoko, make it a landscape. Yeah. Something just happened. I think the iPhone likes to do that. Do you see a potential? Do check the WhatsApp. If you know what to do, then please try.
Do I cover it? No, right? Just leave it there.
I mean, if we cover it, it is enough to raise an alarm, right? So it is probably good to cover and let her think forward, right? Probably good, right? Then you have to select the square, your remain square.
I don't have a square, I only got a circle.
You can change the circle. You can
Oh.
click on the arrow and you can select a rectangle, something like that. Can you do that?
Oh, yeah. Oops.
No problem, no problem. You're still covering it. Now, Kyoko, again, when the hint is written, you may catch a glimpse of it. I mean, whatever, right? Okay. Because you are focusing on the screen, right? That's okay. That's nobody's fault, right? So, Kakak Brian raised an alarm by giving a hint. Correct or not? That means something is wrong, at least according to him. I totally agree with what he's thinking, right? Totally agree. So, your decision, right? Don't forget to label it, Kakak Brian. Kakak Brian, look at your WhatsApp. You should be giving another hint.
Yeah.
Right. And then put a label, Kakak Brian. Your subjective decision. Do you think this hint is something like a first level, second level, or third level? Your subjective decision there. After a while, you get these. Now, Kyoko, when you don't understand the hint and you're stuck, I think it's time for you to ask a question. Right? So how do you ask a question? You can raise your voice, obviously, or when things are crowded, immediately press a question mark. So Kyoko, let's pretend that we're crowded and we cannot speak to you directly, or we are addressing another student, right? You have nothing else to do. You're very curious what does the hint mean, correct? Immediately put a question mark. You have two choices of question mark, right? The mouse and the small question mark. Okay. The mouse is for a very big emphasis, right? I really am confused, right? For you just want a normal question mark, just duplicate the question mark and put it on the hint. Then you will immediately attract Kakak Brian's attention or my attention. Understand? Even though we're addressing another student, doesn't mean that we cannot answer you, because we answer by typing also cannot. Understand? Okay, good. Then put it there. Put it, not put it there. If your question is the hint, put it in the hint, right? Put it in the hint, right? I will think that you should put it. Yeah, that's a better way, right? Yeah. That like that. It's very clear that you are asking what does the hint mean. Make sense? Make sense? So that's how you attract attention when when there's a lot of verbal communication with other people. Don't wait. You can immediately do this. Make sense? Right. So, okay, let's say you attracted Kakak Brian's attention. So, Kakak Brian, what will you do? Time for more hints. Don't answer. Time for more hints. I will argue. Time for more hints. I think we can give a hint.
Okay.
So here's my hint. Because I type you something. If you want to type your own, please do, yeah. But I type based on what I think Kyoko should do in exam. I think Kyoko should do this. So that's my hint, right? So you think. You think about what's the best hint for Kyoko.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Just get used to the tools, all right? Because we don't use this tool at all, right? We don't. Last time we don't. Okay. I will argue that this is the second level of the hint. I will argue. So maybe you want to label it the second level. So, but Kyoko, if you have no other option, then what you must do is you must reveal the hint, right? Okay. Don't take too long to decide. Just okay, you have decided. Instead of doing verbal feedback, of course, we can hear you right now because it's not crowded. But, if you still don't get it, practice duplicating the question mark and put it there. The easier one to duplicate that one. So then just do that. Then me and just get used to it, yeah. So me and Kakak Brian will have noticed. So at this point, Kakak Brian will just give a verbal feedback, right? Verbal feedback is just sometimes the final hint already, right? Okay. So can I do the honor, Kakak Brian?
Yeah.
So Kyoko, look at this. Oh, the Jamboard reload. Oh, goodness. Oh, what happened? Go back to page 17, I believe. Right. So I decided not to give a verbal feedback. I should have to circle something. Still cannot understand. Still question.
It's less than 90 degrees, is it?
Okay, so because I don't want you to spend too much time, I finally give up, look. Because my intention is always to give you hint. That's not what you should be reading from the question. Definitely not. Okay, so I will give up. Okay, I will tell you the answer, Kyoko. Okay, okay. Now, if you feel sad that I should be giving you the question, you are correct. I also feel sad. That means you're not getting something. There, already. I typed the answer already. Not counting. Okay, how come it's not? There.
It has to be written.
That is Kakak Brian's first hint. Look at Kakak Brian's first hint. The angle is not in the right one. Angle only has two forms, degree and degree. You okay, Kyoko? Okay, now let's stop here for a while. Now, you already know what's the problem. Right? I'll show you the final hint, okay? I'll show you the final hint, right? The final hint from Kakak Brian. Now, Kakak Brian used the word coefficient. Kakak Brian, I'm going to change that word here.
Yeah, sure.
So there are two things that is missing you the marks, Kyoko. First is the radian. You can correct the problem now, okay? And the second hint I reveal to you because we're running out of time. The third is not simplified. Do you understand the hint?
No.
So again, time is up. So I'm no longer giving you hint, no? So I'm just, I'm just writing it up for you, right? Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, that's the simplified version. I might be wrong because I have a calculator, right? That's what I mean. Okay. That's simplified. Do you understand? Yeah. Now, let's forget about this topic for a while. Please remember that you are still advanced compared to your class, which your class is already doing good. Remember that? Your class is doing good. Much better than next year, but I will argue your class is doing all the right things. Last year, even if you're advanced on your class, you don't know whether it's enough. Right? But this year, it's different, right? If you're advanced on your class, it may really mean that you are doing very well. So even though you're having problem with this question, The problem is in the tuition. The moment you do it in class, you will probably be fine. You understand, right?
Mm.
Whereas last year, you do it in tuition. Maybe you have some problem, maybe you don't. You don't actually practice at this level in your class. It's a very big problem of your class last year. This year, probably going to be different. So don't be too down. Yeah, today you seem very slow, have a lot of problems, right? You're still ahead, right? This problem is spotted before you. Okay, you understand? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. If it doesn't feel very good, it's okay lah. Now, before we end today, what do you think about the hint system? We're giving you hints all the time instead of answering the question. How does it feel for you?
A bit tedious.
You would prefer an exact, a direct answer, correct?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you're a bit tired, maybe. Really, you're not tired?
Huh? Sorry?
You're not tired. Are you tired?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah. And I think that's why you are losing the patience slightly and you don't get the hint also. What I'm trying to say is the hint is actually very obvious, but you don't get it. I think again because you're tired. So yes, it is tedious. Yes, it's going round and round. But if we tell you the answer, probably also won't stick until tomorrow because you're tired. Kakak Brian, thanks for fixing me. I think Kakak Brian's answer is better. Now, my question is therefore this. I suspected that you're tired, right? I suspected. Now, what's going on? Sunday is supposed to be the freshest day. How come today you're already tired? What's going on here?
I went for open house during the weekend.
Oh, you mean to JC? And the meeting contributes, right? Then you have a meeting somewhere.
Yeah.
Then what I hear is that it's only happening this week, no, this Sunday, no? Right? Correct or not? Okay. Make sure you're fresher next Sunday, because Sunday is supposed to be our most important. But this maybe today cannot avoid it, right? Maybe. Okay. So let's take it like that. You're not doing very bad today. It's just that it's lower than what you expect. I mean, it's your first time reaching the final step. It's just that the final step has some details, right? Okay. Right. So, yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday. No. I'm seeing you just on Wednesday. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Then. I'll see you. Bye. Okay, Kakak Brian. So it's obvious to me that she's tired. She's usually not like that on Sunday. Very obvious. Yeah. So we're trying to give hints and then she's not responding. Just like that, we already know what's going on. Like, I mean, we can already suspect. We can probably feel the same thing after explaining to her for 5 to 10 minutes. How come she's not getting it? How come she keeps repeating the mistake, right? But we can also have the same feel from him. I feel that's another thing about him. Now, so never mind the benefits. What I'm asking you, how do you feel? You have to give him what is new thing. How do you feel?
Very weird. I mean, I'm not used to it all.
I need 5 times to get used to it. Things, I keep doing what I do lah.
Yeah.
And you will also want to keep doing what you do. So I'm just presenting a case to you, right? I cannot force you to do it. I cannot force you to do it all the time. But I am feeling that hints are, I think, better for the student. Right? So that's probably the main reason why I push myself to do it. I can only do it at this. It's not very smooth, yeah. Quite okay already after 5 times. So I'm not surprised that you feel weird today, right? Plus, it's very messy, Samo. Plus, it's very
Mm.
messy, right? So we will have a few ways of making it more organized because I want this to be immediately organized for them. Cannot be messy, but one step at a time.
Mm.
And of course, they are also not used to it.
Yeah.
But this is the start of the year. Plus, there will be new students. I think we just whack everybody lah. If after you try for a few times, you feel that starting to see the benefit lah, right? Please support me in doing it the new way.
Mm.
But I am talking to you right now, not to lecture you lah. I'm talking to you right now because maybe next time you do this, you feel that something is really wrong with it, or it's just not effective, or blah blah blah, or there's some ways that it needs to be changed. Then please feedback me lah. That's why I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right. Then I'll wait. I haven't told you what days, right? I haven't told you.
You told me Monday, right?
No. Also, let me give you the rough idea of this year's schedule. So this year, I'm adding a slot from secondary 1, secondary 2, right? So there are more slots, right?
Okay.
Plus, I'm anticipating that the JC student will increase a little bit. Probably of the 3 graduating one, probably some of them will need tuition sooner or later. Probably lah.
Mhm.
So that means the slot should be more crowded or more packed than last year, because last year actually is very you sense it for yourself. Last year is very, I don't know, very empty lah, right? Very empty, right?
Mm.
So whether it's getting packed or not soon or later, that's my expectation, right? More like I'm praying for more students, right?
Mm.
Sec 3, Sec 4 currently the most packed. Sec 1, Sec 2 starting, JC probably getting packed in the next 3 months. That's the expectation. Now, when the time comes, then, and if you still can teach more, then please do that. So what are we doing while we're waiting? Just assume that this first 3 months, we're waiting for things to pick up, right? So the schedule goes like this. Everybody will attend Sunday except for the science students. That means, for example, on Monday, Joshua, you know which Joshua? Yeah. The secondary 3 Joshua, the Joshua friend with Elliot one.
Baba.
Baba, is it?
Baba, is it?
Is it Baba? I don't know. Is she called Baba? Is he called Baba?
No, like Purba, his surname.
Yeah, Purba. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Joshua Purba. So Joshua Purba, interesting case. He has his own math tutor, which is my friend, right? So he goes math with him. That means he's going to take double science also, just like Elliot. Right? So Elliot is focusing on A math, which is supposed to be today, right? Then he has a class, right? Then Joshua going to focus on science, so chemistry first. So only going to happen in Monday and Wednesday. Yes, right? So Monday and Wednesday are mostly for science student and some of the Sec 3, Sec 4. Currently, I don't think it's being used. So Monday and Wednesday are usually empty right now. So just waiting for it to get full. Right? So the more packed one will be Sunday because everybody's attending except for the science. Then the follow-up will be on Tuesday and Thursday mostly. Right? So right now, your Tuesday and Thursday is still quite empty, right?
Yeah.
So I'll send you the details later, but it's not going to be as long as today.
Yeah.
Right? So hopefully things pick up, then both of us have more work.
Wait, so tomorrow don't have, right?
Tomorrow don't have. So I will be having the class, but they are very empty.
Yeah.
Something.
So you tell me if Tuesday or Thursday, right?
Probably both, and I'll just tell you the exact time.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, but it won't be very long for now, right? We're just starting. Yeah. All right.
So
Then
probably both days lah.
Probably both days, but short and short.
Okay.
So you tell me whether you have a problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll see you on.
Okay. Yeah. Bye-bye.